So my power has been out all freaking day. Like, this morning it was out. It went out around probably 7 or so this morning, and I was about to actually go to bed, and the power fucking goes out. I'm like, oh my god. Now, before any of you ask, like, why the fuck were you up all night? Well, to be honest, I was playing some games and shit, and I kind of got carried away playing games, reading some manga on the side and stuff, and I lost track of time. But anyways, I was heading to bed, going to take a couple hours nap before I got up to do some reviews, and all of a sudden, as soon as I'm about to head to fucking bed, maybe 30 minutes later before I got off everything, I was about to go to bed, the power goes out. I'm like, fuck, because my heater goes off, I'm fucking freezing, it was fucking cold, and this entire morning, I had to pull out my fucking generator, I had to crank it up, make sure it's hooked up, and get everything hooked up with the internet, to the power and shit. So I'll tell you what, it's been a fucking morning. And I know this is very off topic, because I know this is a fairy tale review, but I just have to kind of vent a little bit, because damn it, man, I'm so glad I bought that generator, because I would have been fucked. I would have been fucked today, because the power's out still, and if I didn't have it, well, yeah, I wouldn't be able to do reviews or anything. So, please forgive me for these reviews being late today, because, power was out. But anyways, let's dive into this episode. That's what you're all here for. You're not here to hear, like, vlogish type stuff. Let's talk about Fairy Tail. So, Fairy Tail Zero, Episode 3, I'm here to bring all of you the weekly anime reviews. So, this episode is simple. Very, 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 very simple. To kind of summarize this, it's actually no different from a lot of other anime episodes I have seen. Like, let me explain. The main core concept of this episode is about Mavis feeling like she is not helpful. She feels like she is getting in people's way, because if my hunch is correct and if that girl is kind of illusion, that means it's like her subconscious realizing that she is kind of, not helping. She's useless. And because of this, Mavis feels like she's causing problems for everybody else, and she wants to do something to help everybody else. And because of this, it makes it to where she goes off on an adventure. She eventually, starts, swimming on a dolphin. She goes underwater, and she sees a temple. And so she wants to help out, raise some funds for the people she's traveling with, which causes it to where the main plot of the episode begins. So she goes into this temple, which I feel like is probably going to be very, very important for the actual later on plot of Fairy Tail Zero. Which, actually, before I even get into that, I wanted to discuss something, since a couple of you Chibits mentioned it in the last video I made of Fairy Tail. A bunch of you said this was only like 12 to 13 chapters, which, like, what? Like, really? Fairy Tail Zero is like that short? I thought it was a lot longer than that. So, I know it was like a monthly series, so you're telling me it was only ongoing for like an entire year? Just 12 months or 13 months? Holy shit. That's crazy. I really thought Fairy Tail Zero was like 20 to 30 something chapters, but okay then. But anyways, back on topic though. Mavis, she goes underwater and she sees this ruins with ancient writing and stuff, and I feel like this ancient writing is probably going to pop up again, because that's what I believe, certain key points later on is going to probably be about when it comes to, Fairy Tail Zero, because I do know some stuff when it comes to, later on down the manga, and I feel like when it comes to some of the writing, like this ancient writing about this temple and stuff, it might play a part later on. Now, I could be wrong, I could be very wrong, because like I said, anime only for Fairy Tail Zero, but the way it looks like it's going to be very important for some form of plot, and I wonder exactly what the temple really was for, because, I mean, you had it to where these animal-like heads were turned backwards, they looked forwards, and then there was an explosion of some kind, and it was a trap. I wonder exactly what that temple was, what it was guarding, and what purpose it really had, because that raises many questions, and I wonder if that's going to play a role, or if that was just there to be there. I'm very curious, because it could possibly be just some form of filler just for Mavis to have an adventure to try to feel like she's helping him out. That could also be the case there. But yeah, I mean, there's not really much to dive into, honestly. I really don't have much, because, as I said, it's a very simplistic plot. I've seen this in many other anime that's not just Fairy Tail, but I've seen it in many other anime when it comes to series that have it to where a said character joins a new group, they feel useless, so they want to help out, which causes more problems for them, or eventually it helps them out in the long run. That's kind of what this episode was about. Now, it still doesn't clarify if, the girl that's traveling with Mavis is fake or not, because throughout this episode, it's like the other characters didn't even acknowledge the girl. And if you look closely, she wasn't even around when they were swimming as well, so it's very, very weird. I mean, I wonder exactly if that theory is correct, I made last week, if, like, she is, not really there, is it illusionary, is Mavis crazy? Very curious. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night, wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.